All right, what's going on there, everyone? I'm a product, of the late '80s, early '90s, and there was a popular punk band. I don't think you can call them punk because they're more like pop punk than anything. The band's called Green Day. Now, Green Day, their first album, Dookie, pretty good album. Everything else after that album should have been named after that album because that's what it was. Bunch of crap. First rule as a band is you should not go and start talking about politics. Most people watch music videos, listen to music to get away from said politics. And they ruin themselves like quite a lot of punk bands did. I used to be a real big punk kid. It was cool. It was rebellious. It was different. It was fun, loud, energetic. Good stuff. Good stuff. I preferred bands like Pennywise, NoFX, Flogging Molly, fun bands. But I was sitting here going through, just looking at stuff, and I was actually looking up music stuff, and I found this article. This is from Mashable, which I don't know nothing about this site, to be honest with you. But it was one of the first sites that was talking about this situation. All-male band Green Day writes handbook for rebellious women. And nope, we did not ask for this. I'm guessing that the person writing this article is a woman. Green Day, a band consisting of 3 men, has written a handbook for everyday women who refuse to capitulate. The book was illustrated by artist Frank Caruso, also a man. So, yep, that makes 4 men and 0 women authoring a handbook aimed at women. You read that right. Okay. Well, it's funny you should make this seem like it's a real big deal because women have been writing stuff exclusively for and about men for years and years and years, decades. There's a funny skit by a comedian named Bill Burr. If you're not familiar with Bill Burr, I suggest you look him up. He's all over YouTube. If you want to laugh at just someone else's anger and frustration, check out Bill Burr. Classic. He had a skit where it was talking about how men with a lot of money always tend to get themselves caught up in some BS with, whether it's being married and going and getting a bunch of hooahs or something like that, that type of stuff. Stuff that rich, powerful men got to deal with, and rich, powerful women got to deal with it also. But this article is strictly about men. And it was written by a woman. Like she would know what is going on in a rich, powerful man's head that causes him to act like a fool. She's a woman. It's not really built into her to know exactly what's going on with a man to make him act like that or feel that way or do the things that they do. It's a good point. And he also said it's like men writing a book the 3rd trimester and what to expect. Exactly. This goes on all the time from both sides, male and female. We always try to speak for each other all the time. That's just apparently human nature because it happens all the time. Not that big of a deal. But of course, to those woke feminists and whatnot, this is a major problem. You can't have men writing about women issues. What type of world would that be? Be normal, but I digress. The book published by HarperCollins is titled Last of the American Girls and will hit bookstores October 2019. Per the HarperCollins website, the book is a rallying cry for all rebel girls and an illustrated rendition of the band's song Last of the American Girls. Celebrating true rebel girls, girls who pushed back, girls who used their voice, girls who said no. Last of the American Girls take on both the establishment and the upwardly mobile, espousing an infectious spirit that has never been more relevant, the description continues. This nice idea in principle book garnered something of a mixed bag of reactions on social media. Andy Zieelsler? I think that's her name. Andy Zieelsler. What rebellious every woman among us has not longed for an inspiring handbook authored and illustrated by checks notes, 4 men and 0 women. I'm a huge fan of Green Day. This is from Tanya Friedman from Canada. I don't know if her opinion matters anymore. But she states, I'm a huge fan of Green Day. They are my favorite. But why in the hell are they writing a handbook for women? Eli Kirk. This appears to be a man. I'm going to write a book about how to do backflips. I don't know how to myself, but I feel my perspective on the matter is relevant. That's how most people write books. I do want you to know that, Mr. Eli. Most people that write books don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just do a quick thing of research and then write a book. Trust me, I have friends who write books, and I always ask, how do you happen to know so much knowledge and keep that shit in your head? He's like, I don't keep it in my head. I just read a bunch of stuff and write about it. Neat. And it goes on and on and on and on and on here. Apparently, a lot of people, men and women, do not like the fact that they're writing this book, but why not? America's a free country. If they want to write a feminist handbook, let them. Just let them write the book. You never know. It could be a good book. I mean, from y'all's opinion, because I think it's going to be a silly, stupid book, just like everything else that Green Day's came out with since the very early 90s. It's going to be retarded. It's Green Day, people. It's a bunch of 50-year-old freaking guys who've never had to do or never actually had to work for anything. So, yeah, listen to their opinion. Why not? Why not? It could be a great opinion. Or don't. Probably won't affect you either. But the fact that so many people are getting outraged by it, it's just a book, people. People keep forgetting about these freedoms we have here. You can do what you want. If you want to write a book about feminism, go right ahead. If you're a woman that wants to write a book about masculinity, go right ahead. It doesn't mean me as a man, I have to read it. You know? I don't have to. I don't have to read anything I don't want to read. That's why I don't understand all the censoring that's going on, which I'm going to have to start making videos about the censoring, about the social media censoring, because it's gotten to an insane point. It's actually gotten so crazy that I have to start talking about this. It's everyone that doesn't know needs to know. But yeah, I don't care that Green Day is making a book for women. I don't think women should care. I think women, in a slight way, should sit back and appreciate that, hey, this group of men are acknowledging our fight. They're acknowledging our fight. And you never know, they could give good advice because there are a bunch of men advising women on stuff that's specifically for women. So you never know, they could give you a little bit of hints into how to do some things better or to be seen better. You know, because these modern feminists aren't much liked by people. They're not much liked by traditional feminists. I mean, they're really more of a cancer to feminism than they are feminists and assets to the cause of feminism. But I also worry about any man that calls himself or deems himself in some type of way a feminist, because that's not normal. It's just not normal. That's not a normal thing for a man to think of. It's awesome and really cool to sit there and support feminist, not toxic feminist, like everything we see nowadays. But, classical feminist, yeah, it's cool to support them. But like I said, these modern feminists are toxic cancer. And most people will continue to see them. So maybe this book has you never know, it could have a message in it of how not to be seen as cancer. Might be a good thing for y'all feminists. But we'll see. And this video is getting really long, so I will, as always, I will catch y'all on the flip side. Like, share, and subscribe. And I have a few more videos coming out a little bit later.